Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we bring you another city drive, this time through parts of Chattanooga, Tennessee on the way to Lookout Mountain. We begin at our hotel in the Hamilton Place area of Chattanooga. We'll zip along I-75 South and I-24 East quickly since we've covered those in detail going the opposite direction, and slow things down when we hit the surface streets. We exit the interstate in an area known as Lookout Valley. We turn left onto Broad Street, which has an impressive multiplex of U.S. Highways 11, 41, 64, and 72, as well as Tennessee State Highways 2 and 17. This was part of the Lee Highway Auto Trail dating back to the early 1920s prior to the establishment of the U.S. route system, and still appears on some maps as Lee Highway. While we're driving through Chattanooga, our main focus for this video is going to be Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain is a gigantic rock just off the Tennessee River on the edge of Chattanooga. There are two incorporated towns of Lookout Mountain, one in Tennessee and one in Georgia. The state line cuts the mountain in half. For our trip today, we'll remain in Tennessee the whole way. Lookout Mountain and Sand Mountain to the southwest make up a large portion of the southernmost end of the Cumberland Plateau. The area was lifted from an ancient sea and worn down by erosion for millions of years. The summit, called High Point, is located just east of Thompsonville in Walker County, Georgia, with an elevation of 2,392 feet or 729 meters above sea level. The foothills of the mountain extend into the Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. The caves of Ruby Falls are in Lookout Mountain, and the rock formations of the Rock City attraction are situated on the ridge. The area is home to the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway, Covenant College, and a hang gliding school. Lookout Mountain is one of the Chattanooga area's most visited tourist attractions. Civil War-related landmarks include Point Park, operated by the National Park Service, and the Cravens House. Nearby are Georgia's Cloudland Canyon and Cloudland Canyon State Park. From the Rock City Point, a marker claims that 7 U.S. states can be seen: Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. The claim is repeated on numerous barn roofs in the surrounding area. No scientific investigation has upheld this claim. Located on the northwest side of Lookout Mountain, Sunset Rock is a popular trailhead and tourist stop. Once known as Point Lookout, Sunset Rock provides a view of the Tennessee River, Signal Mountain, and Prentice Cooper State Forest. Sunset Rock is attractive to Civil War enthusiasts due to its history. It has a Tennessee Historical Commission marker at the head of the trail describing its Civil War battle history. Confederate Generals Braxton Bragg and James Longstreet used Sunset Rock as a lookout in 1863, where they were able to track the movement of the Union troops as they entered Lookout Valley. It is claimed that, unknown to Longstreet, the Union troops could see him on Sunset Rock from the valley, where they were able to decipher the Confederate code, giving them the ability to anticipate the next moves of the Confederates. This resulted in the Battle of Wauhatchie, in which the Confederate Army attempted to remove the Union forces from the river and block their supply lines. The attempt was unsuccessful, with the consequence that the Union forces were able to lay siege to Chattanooga. Entrepreneurs began marketing their own attractions in the 1910s and 1920s. Instead of serving just as a resort area for the wealthy, rich businessmen settled permanently on the mountain. Garnet Carter, J.B. Pound, O.B. Andrews, and Leo Lambert were a few of the more successful entrepreneurs who created their own attractions. Instead of making their money off of the tourists' room, board, or transportation, the area's natural attractions were enhanced. Sites that had long been popular, such as the City of Rocks, Lookout Mountain Cave close to the public since 1935, and the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway, were bought, highly developed, and marketed. We turn onto Ox Highway, originally called St. Elmo's Turnpike. The road was originally built in the 1870s to provide easier access to the mountain during a yellow fever epidemic. The current name comes from Adolph S. Ox, publisher of the Chattanooga Times in the late 19th century. This steep and winding highway runs 2.5 miles up the side of the mountain. On the right are cliff faces behind the trees, and on the left is a steep drop-off. Here we get into a residential area of Lookout Mountain, Tennessee, and we'll drive through some of these neighborhoods to our destination. Here on East Brow Road, where we parked, is this prominent empty lot which is easily accessed by hopping a small wall, but the paths leading onto the property are blocked by gates and fences. We thought that at one time it may have been a park, but further investigation online shows that it was probably someone's home at one time. The home was demolished for whatever reason, and the property has remained empty. The 2.29 acres is valued at $1.14 million, but isn't for sale. This is the heart of one of the tourist areas of Lookout Mountain, with the top end of the incline railway being right next door to the right. Signs indicate that this is private property, no trespassing, picnicking, or other such activities. This tree has almost completely consumed the sign, and having been here a number of times over the last 40 years, I can say this lot has always been exactly like this. Down the road a little ways is a Civil War cannon on display. The Battles for Chattanooga is a starting point for tours of the area's historic Civil War battle sites via digital projection. where you can hear and see about Chattanooga's battles above the clouds and Sherman's assault on Missionary Ridge. Ticket prices range from $4.95 to $7.95 as of spring 2019. Inside the Battles for Chattanooga gift shop, we found this ancient relic of road travel. These used to be found in motels, all customized for their location. You dial in the name of the city you want to go to and it gives you the mileage. Here we see the entrance to Point Park, which is part of the National Park Service. Atop the entrance archway is an eagle standing guard. Point Park is a 10-acre memorial park that overlooks the Lookout Mountain battlefield in the city of Chattanooga. Now on the inside of the park, we're on the edge of a steep drop-off. This side of the mountain overlooks the Tennessee River in Chattanooga. In the center of the park is the New York Peace Monument, which was refurbished in 2015. Veterans from New York erected the monument in 1907 with some deliberate reconciliation connotations. The bronze soldiers, one Union and one Confederate, are shaking hands underneath the United States flag. The monument was constructed of Tennessee marble and Massachusetts granite, mixed together to signify the rebirth of the country. On the western edge of the park, steep drop-offs necessitate guardrails to keep people from falling off the edge. Along this trail you can see how steep the drop-off is. The view over the valley to the west is beautiful. We'll conclude this video here. We hope you enjoyed this city drive and tour of a small part of Lookout Mountain. We plan to return to this area at some point in the future and visit more of the tourist attractions on Lookout Mountain and around Chattanooga. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.